It's Monday, September 4th, Labor Day here at the West End Gun Club. Parked out here in the impact area of the upper range. Just gonna set up a pair of steel targets. Came out here to do just some practice off a tripod. No other real agenda here. I'm off from work because it is a holiday. It's a federal holiday here in the United States. So just woke up this morning and said, hey, let's go get some practice in because I really should practice a little bit more off a tripod. I don't really practice much center fire as much as I do rim fire. So I figured a good time to do it. And it's very quiet here at the range. Let's go ahead and just get stuff set up and start shooting, and maybe we'll clear out before people arrive. Before we head down to the firing line, just quick close-up of these targets. You probably saw these targets a few range vlogs ago when I went to the Desert Marksman range out in Palmdale. I was using these targets to shoot at 3, 4, 5, and 6. I just have a 6-inch 6x6 and an 8x8. I believe this is half-inch. I think this is only 3/8. 3/8 steel, but they are AR500 from JC Steel Targets. This is the JC Steel Targets target hooks. Fits around a 1-inch round bar, and then the stands are actually Atlas Target Works stands. So these fit around 1-inch round bar, and then they use a 3/4-inch conduit for the legs. You just wedge them in there, and that's it. And it's pretty simple. People ask me why I don't use T-posts. I hate T-posts because it sucks trying to hammer them on the ground. Today, it might be easier because the ground is soft because it's rained recently, but come summertime, you're not gonna get a T-post in the ground. It's a bear to get T-posts pounded in. So I figure something like this where I can just set them down and then call it a day, as far as that's it, no more setup, and then clean up, just pick it up, right? No trying to pull it out of the ground. So that's why I use these, but let's go ahead and make our way down to the firing line. We're just gonna pop off a few rounds past the chronograph just to get some velocities here. Specifically because I have an AR comp load that I'm gonna use because I have a lot of AR comp and no real application for it. I bought it back in, I think in the early 2010s when we had that shortage like we do now. So basically we had a shortage, then things are good, now we have a shortage again. But back in that shortage, I bought a bunch of AR comp because Varget and other powders are hard to get. So I have a load for AR comp with 308, which is what I'm shooting today. But I just want to double check to make sure it's okay and get the velocities out of it. But right now, this is my 44 grain Varget load with a 175 Berger. And right now my glasses are fogging up, so bear with me here. Oh, that's wrong. Obviously not 726 feet per second because we are in the wrong mode. Let's go ahead and reset this. Oh, what are we here? Velocity range, rifle. Let's go again. more like it. I only brought one magazine with me, and it's an MDT AI mag. Didn't really pack up any mags, but that's why I keep one AICS mag in my kit just in case. It's a backup, and good thing I did. We're only going to shoot 5 rounds of this behind the chronograph, or past the chronograph rather. See what these numbers look like with 41 grains of AR comp. I think it should be around 2650. That's what my notes say. 2650 feet per second, which is kind of slow, but it's clear. It's close to max according to the Alliant data. But you know, manufacturers are pretty conservative when it comes to their data. Probably can go a little hotter on this, but it is what it is. We'll just see what this looks like. Actually, let me reset the series. It's always a good thing to do. Sorry. Reset series. Boom. Boom. All right, let's see what we look at here. Okay. Yeah, 2667, about where I thought would be. Okay. Yep. 100 feet per second slower, roughly, than Varget. It's not a very accurate load, though. It's barely a minute, if anything. Come down one, though. All right. What are we looking at here? What do we have? What do we have? Okay, 2660 average feet per second. So we're good. Sun's starting to come out. Probably should get my sunglasses, but I'm gonna shoot forward to the firing line since no one else is here, simply because there's so much weeds and overgrowth on the right side of the firing line that I can't find my brass, or it's very difficult to find my brass. And not to mention there's overgrowth up there blocking my targets when I'm on that side of the firing line. So I'm gonna just shoot close to this side and I can hopefully see the steel targets. I can barely see those targets, but we're good. Yeah, I can see through the growth. Let's shoot the large target. I'm gonna be shooting through it. Let's see. High left. High left. Oh, did I miss? Huh, interesting. I missed that shot. Put down about 30 rounds, just trying to get some practice shooting off a tripod because, you know, with the centerfire, don't really do it too often. Today I'm using my Remington 700 police model. This is just a factory police model with a different chassis. This is a Bravo KRG. My gunsmith threaded the barrel for me, but this is your 700P 1 in 12 twist 26-inch barrel. Nothing real special about it. It is smooth. It is really smooth, surprisingly enough. And I know a lot of people hate on Remington 700 actions, like factory OEM Remington 700 actions. I bought this probably in 2012 or so, then, you know, around the time when Remingtons were really bad. But this one is, you know, I feel it's actually pretty smooth. It's light. It's way better than a Savage action in terms of how well it runs. Accuracy is so-so. I haven't found a really good load for it. It shoots at best about a minute of angle. But it's a fine gun just for slinging 30 cal rounds downrange and getting practice in. So this is kind of relegated as my sort of, I don't know, I don't want to call it my beater gun, but just something I can use to practice with centerfire and not really care about barrel life or anything, because this should last quite a long time. And even then, I could just rebarrel it. Just get my Smith to spin on a barrel for me. There's a bee out here. But yeah, it's not really great with the 1 in 12 twist though. I did shoot at 1,000 yards to sea level, so I know it can make it to 1,000 yards at sea level with 175 grain Sierra Match Kings or Berger 175 OTMs. And it holds. It doesn't destabilize or keyhole or anything, and it shoots okay, given my skill. I would much rather have 11 and a quarter, I guess 11 and a quarter twist at least, 11 and a half twist, or 1 in 10, which is what my old Savage had before I rebarreled the 6.5 Creedmoor. Anyway, that's what I'm shooting today. This is, I guess, my beater gun, and it's got a Triggertech, one of the old school original first gen Triggertechs, single stage. I think it's breaking around 3 pounds, but it's really good trigger. But yeah, it's a really nice gun just to have. Again, it's just a beater gun. Anyway, let's go and throw a few more rounds and then we'll call it quits. And the target fell off. It's fine. And I missed that one. What the hell? If this next target falls off, we'll just call it quits because I don't feel like going out there, fixing targets, coming back and going out there to collect it. And that target fell off, so we're calling it quits. Hilarious. As I mentioned earlier, the 700 police model on 308 is my kind of beater practice gun. And prior to that, I mentioned that I have quite a bit of AR comp. It's made by Alliant AR comp powder. Bought a bunch of it back in the 2010s when we had that shortage in the 2010s. And Varget was hard to come by, which is my go-to powder for 308. So I've got a bunch of that. I do have a bunch of Varget now, but I figured I should use up the AR comp since I have no real precision load using it, and I figured it'd be good to use it as a practice powder for stuff like this where I'm shooting short range on steel, just trying to practice positions and whatnot. So that's why I'm using up this AR comp, and I'm going to continue to use AR comp in this 308 for practice. Pulled in the targets, thought to get out of here. Hitting a little high today. I need to adjust the zero, at least for the 41 grain AR comp load at about 307 yards. I think my 100 yard zero could come down a hair, maybe a 10th mil lower anyway. So I think that would line up with this trajectory, but I'm hitting a little high today, but still making hits. Not much else to say about this range session other than just getting practice in. My 6.5 Creedmoor lightweight build is still down, and I'll reveal why. I'm still waiting for a part to come back in, and we'll discuss that probably in the very near future when I get a chance to bring that back out to the range. But it should all be good once I get this specific part. As far as anything in the near future, as far as projects and whatnot, nothing really planned. I probably gonna hold off on things right now. I'm still looking to do a long action build. There's that new Stiller Wombat action, and it looks interesting. It's their lightweight attempt at a lightweight action. They're claiming 22 ounces. I don't know about the long action, but the short action they're claiming 22, so it's about on par with the Defiance Anti. But I want a long action, and if I do go long action, I'm still leaning towards a Lone Peak Fusion Alpine Cut, which I can get. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really need to build a long action, but I'd like to have one because I don't have a long action cartridge other than 30-06 with my M1 Garands, if I don't have a bolt action in a long action. So anyway, let's go ahead and call it quits. Gonna head home, probably get something to eat because I'm hungry. It is hot out here. It's humid. It's only gonna be about 75 degrees today, but it's warm in the sun and it's humid, so that makes it worse. We've had a bout of humidity because of some rain and I guess, I don't know what you want to call it, like that monsoon moisture. So it's nice if it's cool, but when it's even with any hint of warm weather, like 80 degrees, it still feels kind of uncomfortable, especially in the house. You still got to turn on AC, which sucks. But anyway, weather is getting better. I think it's going to heat up again in SoCal to the 90s maybe next week or into this upcoming weekend and the next week. But hopefully we're done with summer. And it actually has been a short summer here in SoCal, believe it or not. I know the Midwest and the East Coast has been hitting like record heat waves and stuff. But for us, I mean, in SoCal, my part of SoCal, we had 100-degree weather in July for maybe 2 weeks. And then we had a short stint of 100-degree weather just recently in August. And that was it. I mean, we were hovering at 90s, which, you know, it's summer. We're saying 90s, but surprisingly enough, we didn't really have much of a summer this year, so I'm thankful for that. But I mean, I might speak too soon, and we may have that last second summer heat wave in September and October. You never know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. That's it for today, Labor Day, September 4th here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vlog.